As worshippers came to pray at midday Mass, some reflected on the Pope's apology.
I'm really glad and happy that he has done it. We were all furious when we heard about the news, like about what's going on in the history, and we felt relief.
I'm glad that he did it. And what I would say is that I think there needs to be more.
For many Catholics, the legacy of residential schools and the Church's role have been shameful.
Has it ever shaken your faith, all of this?
It did. It did. And I said, how come this thing happened?
But she says to her, the apology shows the Pope has a heart.
The Oblates ran 48 of the residential schools.
Father Ken Thorson says the Pope's words bring renewed hope to strengthen the relationship between the Church and Indigenous communities. He's with the Oblates of Mary Immaculate, which ran the Kamloops Indian Residential School and dozens of others.
The significant role that the Oblates played in that weighs heavily and is the impetus for the work that we're trying to do today.
Part of that includes a promise to hand over thousands of residential school documents, work he says is underway. As a Catholic priest and the grandson of a residential school survivor, Father Cristino Bouvet saw the apology in two ways.
I felt like I've had my marching orders as a priest in this institution to move forward in helping to advance reconciliation, irrespective of whether or not Pope Francis would apologize today. But because of my additional associations, to have heard him say those words, it moved me actually much more deeply than I anticipated.
Still, he says the apology alone won't be enough, and there are many more steps to take, including from dioceses like his. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
And Murray Sinclair, the former chair of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, joins us now. And Mr. Sinclair, what was your reaction when you heard the Pope speak early this morning?
Well, I was thinking of the survivors, of course, and the importance of hearing those words that they must have felt. And I shed a tear for them during my pipe ceremony because I was really happy that they finally got to hear the words.
So the Pope has used the word apology. He is committed now to coming to Canada. What's at the top of your list in terms of what he needs to do going forward?
Well, I think there needs to be an action plan that's developed in conjunction with the survivors, not necessarily with the Indigenous leaders, I think with the survivors, because the survivors are the ones that know what it is that they need.
You know, there is some debate in Canada about the nature of this apology, that it wasn't on behalf of the Church, but on behalf of some people within the Church. Does that distinction, is that important to you?
When the leader of the Church makes an apology on behalf of those who were responsible for the conduct of those perpetrated wrongs, I think that one can see that this is actually on behalf of the Church. In addition to that, he did speak about the fact that the Church, in following its own practices and beliefs about the invalidity of the culture and the language of the Indigenous people of Canada and North America, that they were wrong in following those practices. And so I think that he has spoken out, in my view, adequately about the Church's wrongs here.
Just a few seconds left here, Mr. Sinclair. Did you ever think we'd get to this day?
I didn't have any doubt about it. I didn't know if it would happen in my lifetime, but I didn't have any doubt about the fact that eventually the Church was going to have to make some kind of effort at repairing the relationship it had with the Indigenous community.
And it happened today, or at least the beginning of that happened today. Murray Sinclair, always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you, Ian.